Hello. Let's talk about something that secretly controls your progress more than grammar, more than vocabulary, more than pronunciation. Attention. Not talent, not intelligence. Attention. In a world where your phone vibrates every 5 minutes and your brain jumps from app to app like it's training for a mental marathon, deep learning has become rare. And language learning requires depth. You cannot scroll your way to fluency. Most learners sit down to study English while checking notifications, replying to messages, switching between tabs, and thinking about 10 other things. Then they say, I studied for an hour. No, you were near English for an hour. There's a difference. Real improvement happens when your brain is fully engaged, when you struggle to understand a sentence and stay with it, when you replay a phrase and try to mimic the rhythm, when you actively search for meaning instead of passively letting sound pass through your ears. Shallow exposure creates familiarity. Deep focus creates skill. If you want faster progress, don't increase time first, increase quality. 15 minutes of focused listening beats 1 hour of distracted listening. Now let's get uncomfortable. Sometimes you don't struggle because English is hard, you struggle because your focus is weak. That's not an insult, it's a modern reality. Your brain is trained for speed, that depth, short videos, fast content, instant reward. But language learning is slow reward. You don't feel dramatic progress daily, you feel subtle shifts weekly. And that delay can feel boring, so your mind escapes. The solution isn't motivation, it's structure. Create small focus rituals. When you practice listening, put your phone away. When you practice speaking, record yourself without multitasking. When you read, underline new words and guess meaning before checking. Train attention like a muscle, because attention determines retention. Now let's talk about memory. Many learners complain, I keep forgetting vocabulary. Of course you do. Forgetting is natural. Memory strengthens through retrieval, not exposure. Reading a word 10 times feels productive, but using that word in a sentence forces retrieval, and retrieval strengthens memory. So instead of just reviewing vocabulary lists, use the words. Create 3 sentences. Say them out loud. Use them in different contexts. Memory loves usage. Another important truth, emotion enhances memory. If a word connects to a strong feeling, you remember it better. So attach words to stories. Attach words to personal experiences. Attach words to humor. Language connected to emotion sticks longer than language memorized mechanically. Now let's discuss fear again, but from a different angle. Sometimes you're not afraid of mistakes, you're afraid of effort, deep effort. Because deep effort is uncomfortable, it forces you to confront what you don't know. It forces you to slow down and admit confusion. But confusion is a doorway. If everything feels easy, you're not growing. If everything feels impossible, you're overwhelmed. Growth lives in the middle zone, challenging but manageable. If a listening exercise feels too easy, increase difficulty slightly. If it feels completely impossible, reduce speed or use subtitles briefly. Adjust, don't quit. Let's talk about pronunciation. Many learners ignore it at the beginning. They think vocabulary matters more. But pronunciation affects confidence. If you're unsure how to say a word, you hesitate. That hesitation breaks flow. You don't need perfect pronunciation. You need predictable pronunciation. When you learn a new word, learn how it sounds immediately. Repeat it, mimic it, notice stress. English rhythm matters more than individual sounds. Stress changes meaning. Intonation changes emotion. Listen not just for words, but for music. Now, here's something powerful. Start shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a short sentence and repeating it immediately, trying to copy rhythm and tone. Not reading, listening, and repeating. It feels awkward at first. Good. Awkwardness means you're stretching coordination between brain and mouth. 5 minutes of shadowing daily can transform fluency over time. Let's address something else. You might secretly believe that some people are language people and you're not. That belief is dangerous. Language is exposure plus repetition plus correction. Yes, some people learn faster, but slow learners who persist surpass fast learners who quit. Speed is irrelevant in a long journey. Consistency wins. Now let's talk about identity again. Instead of saying, I'm learning English, try saying, I use English, even if it's imperfect, even if it's small. Identity shapes behavior. If you see yourself as someone who uses English daily, you'll find small ways to integrate it into life. Change your phone language. Write short notes in English. Think about simple daily actions in English. The more normal it feels, the less intimidating it becomes. English should not feel like a test. It should feel like a tool, and tools become comfortable with use. Here's another uncomfortable truth. You cannot avoid sounding awkward at first. You will mispronounce, you will pause too long, you will search for words. That's part of the process. The only way to sound natural is to go through unnatural. There is no shortcut around embarrassment, only through it. But remember this, embarrassment fades faster than regret. Regret lasts longer. Imagine 1 year from now. Version A, you practiced consistently, you felt awkward sometimes, you made mistakes, but you continued. Now you speak comfortably. Version B, you avoided discomfort, you waited to feel ready, you practiced rarely, you're still at the same level. Both futures are built by daily decisions, small ones. Today, you choose whether English stays in your life or fades again. Not dramatically, quietly. One short listening session, one short speaking session, one small effort. And that's enough. You don't need to conquer the language. You need to coexist with it daily. Progress will follow. Stay focused, stay patient, stay consistent. That's how attention turns into fluency.